Hello children, welcome to NEET WORLD. This is Narayani, I am your foundation faculty. In previous class, we discussed about the very important chapter of microorganisms, friendly and foe. Right children? So, in this we discussed the first classification of microorganisms about bacteria. Right children? So, some very important bacteria name called cyanobacteria we are going to discuss today, and then we starting the another classification of microorganisms is fungi. Before starting the session, I would like to tell you very important news for you children. So, we are starting the foundation course from the 15th April onwards, which means the first batch is already started children. The next batch is going to start from the April 15th onwards children. So, our main motto of these 15 days, we are giving the 10 days of free classes, basic free classes for you all. For who are upcoming students of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th children. So, do not miss this opportunity. Our main core of basics from the exams of NEET and JEE. From the basics to from the higher level, you can clear about the concepts of the both examinations of NEET and JEE. The eligible students for this summer camp course is CBSE and SSE also. The mode of learning is through the medium is English. We are using the digital panel for you better understanding the concepts. We are creating better animations to get the concept to be understood children. So, the most experienced faculty are ready to teach you children. So, do not miss this opportunity. We are weekly we are conducting the quizzes and also quick assessments and all that. So, do not miss this opportunity, and the main you will get the career guidance from the expert teachers children. So, if you want to, what you want to become, what you want to achieve, those we will give for all that courses, guidance for the year to achieve your goals children. So, from based on for the NEET and JEE examinations, you will get the very good foundation basics from here, our NEET World foundation classes children. So, the mode of learning is both online also, offline also. For offline people, you can happily come to our institute name called NEET World, present in Hyderabad near Narayani G near metro station. Those who want to attend through online, down streaming number is there, no children. So, contact with that number with us. We will give the access classes in our app name called MedWorld children. So, do not miss this opportunity. The first 7 classes are, first 1 week classes are, of course 10 classes are free for you children. So, do not miss this opportunity. I hope you all clear about this NEET foundation summer camp classes. The next batch is going to start from the April 15th onwards. Do not miss this opportunity children. So, let us move to the today's session children. So, we are discussing the very important talk from the bacteria, topic from the bacteria, cyanobacteria. So, this is the last part of the bacteria children. So, 1 minute, okay. See, what we discussed about the bacteria having the cell wall, that is why that can affect the multicellular organisms like both plants and animals, right children. This is also, cyanobacteria is also a group of unicelled organism. Okay. Cyanobacteria is a group of unicelled organisms that lack cell wall and well developed nucleus also. But children, the bacteria is mostly dependent for the nutrition as they act like saprophytes or parasites. So, they are dependent on the dead organic matter, right children, for the dead organisms, or they are act as a parasites. They live they depend on the other organisms for the nutrition and shelter, right children. So, here the cyanobacteria is a group of unicellular organism only, but they have lack well developed nucleus also. Of course, bacteria characteristic feature it is, right children, and they have cell wall also, but similar to bacteria. But can these cyanobacteria can synthesize their food by using chlorophyll. So, the most of the bacteria is not lacking of chlorophyll, right children, but it is the advanced bacteria which can synthesize their own food by using the chlorophyll in it. So, it is similar to algae. So, the bacteria of characteristic features in the cyanobacteria having it is a unicelled organism, and they lack well developed nucleus, and they have cell wall which is similar to bacteria. Coming to the which is very similar to the algae, can synthesize their own food. So cyanobacteria can have the features of the bacteria and also similar to the characteristic feature of algae, because they have the chlorophyll, can synthesize their own food material. Right children, this is about the cyanobacteria. So they are look like in a blue green color. So that is why this cyanobacteria is also called as blue green algae. Is also called as blue green algae. The chlorophyll pigment is there, no, that is why they are looking like green color, and they are appear in the blue green color, that is why we call them the cyanobacteria called as a blue green algae. So scientists given the name as a blue green algae. It's maybe in a single or else a small groups and form colonies. The group of bacteria placed in one together, we call it as colonies, children. So this is about the cyanobacteria. The best example of the cyanobacteria is nostoc, children. So they are widespread in marine and fresh water. What is marine water? Marine means, the salinity content is more. The salinity content in water is more, and the fresh water having the low salinity, right children? So some species are capable of fixing nitrogen also. They live in both fresh water also, marine water also, and some can able to fix the nitrogen in their structure, right children? These colonies of blue green algae has mass of bluish and green scum. So they are mostly found look like a bluish scum in the scum of the, it is look like a bluish scum. It is look like large mass of blue scum is there like that. Right children, it is floating on the surface of the pond. Mainly these blue green algae found in the in the rice fields. Example, nostoc, children. This is mostly found in the scum regions. So the best example for it is cyanobacteria is nostoc. So they are appear in blue green color, that is why the cyanobacteria is also called as blue green algae. They have the characteristics of both bacteria and also algae. So the algae characteristic of the cyanobacteria having the chlorophyll, thereby it can synthesize their own food, right children? They are blue green in color, that is why cyanobacteria is also called as blue green algae. So they widespread in marine and fresh water also. Some cyanobacteria can able to fix the nitrogen fixation property. So these are appear in colonies. So they mostly appear in the large mass like blue scum regions, right children? So it is mainly found in rice fields. Example is nostoc. So effect and some more important point, content of the bacteria is what are useful bacteria, what are harmful bacteria. We are going to discuss in after the classification of the 5 microorganism classification. Okay children, so let's move into the most important classification, children, it is fungi. So see children, what is fungi? So if you see, if you keep the bread open in the night outside of the room, just you keep it and leave it and go. After 2 days, what will happen? You see the cotton, cotton like white cotton like appearance. What it called that as? It is nothing but fungi, children. So the fungi having the living cells. Fungi are the living cells. So children, fungi is nothing but the living cells. The commonly we observed in the, what we observed, where it is observed. So if you kept in the bread outside of the room, or if you kept open without you kept in the refrigerator, then what you will see, the cotton like appearance on the bread. You see the white cotton like structure, that is nothing but the fungi, children. So see children, so fungi is mostly fungi. So fungi is mostly microscopic also, macroscopic also. What is meant by micro? That cannot be seen with the naked eye, right children? Cannot see with our naked eye, right children? With our naked eye. The macroscopic means they can see with a naked eye, right children? So the unicellular organisms we kept under the microscopic microscopic structures, because they are unicellular, that is why we can't see the naked eye, right children? So here the unicellular fungi are yeast. Example, we take it as a yeast. And coming to the multicellular organisms of fungi, because they are present with many cells. So here the mushrooms, except yeast and mildews, all other fungi groups are mostly multicellular organisms only, right, children. So this is what about the fungi. I hope, see children, I will explain in a very clear way. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute children. Okay, no problem, I will here explain only. One minute. So fungi is both microscopic also, macroscopic also. For the microscope they are unicellular. Example is yeast and mildews, right children? Yeast and mildews, as they having only one cell, right children? That is why we call it them as unicellular organisms. For the microscopic they are multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms, examples are mushrooms. Okay, mostly the fungi species are multicellular organisms, right children? So in the multicellular organisms, they mostly have the cap. They mostly have the cap, right children? The cap may be of, the cap may be of the bag-like structure, or else, or umbrella-like structure. See here, it is a mushroom. It is a macroscopic multicellular organism. Here it is, see, it is having the cap-like structure, right children? It is having the cap-like structure. So it is the microscopic, as it is a microscopic, it is also multicellular organism. It is having the bag-like structure, right children? This is how the, the multicellular organism of fungi is characteristic, features. So when we see here, it is a multicellular. The bread, the mostly is in the rhizopus. The fungi called rhizopus, children. So in the fungi, they found this type of rhizopus fungi. So they have, if see here, the stalk, what we call children, it is a stalk. If you zoom it, if you analyzed it, it shows a long slender like filaments. What we call children, long slender like filaments. This filament we call it as hyphae. Right children, this filament we call it as hyphae. So these are twisted and tangled around it, right children? These are tangled. That we call it as mycelium. What we call children? Mycelium. That we call it as mycelium. So if they asked you the question like, what is meant by mycelium? Mycelium is nothing but the collection of hyphae which are twisted together, right children? So it is a stalk, the stalk having the long slender filaments. The each filament we call it as a hyphae. The collection of hyphae we call it as nothing but mycelium, right children? As it is a mycelium, so here root like structures are there, no? These all made up of mycelium only. The mycelium may be of children, it is maybe, if you look in those mycelium, it appears like this children. See, they have two types of myceliums. So one is aseptate, another one is aseptite. Children, the septate having the partitions. See here you are seeing the partitions, right? You are seeing the partitions. Here see, there is no partitions. So it is a cytoplasm and it is a nucleus. So it is made up of many cells, right children? So that is why it is a multicellular. And here see, you see the cytoplasm, there is no partitions, right children? So especially this mycelium, why what are the characteristics of this septate and aseptate, and what is the characteristics of mycelium? So the mycelium releases the enzymes, thereby it break down the complex substance into a simple substance, utilized form for the fungi. Thereby it absorbs nutrients, thereby the fungi will survive. Right children, this is how the fungi will survive. So this is, the partitions we call it as, if they have the partitions, what we call children? we call it as a septite hyphae. If the hyphae doesn't have any partitions, we call it as sinusotic hyphae or aseptate hyphae. Right children? So, these having see here, this septate hyphae, when it is present in the absorption of food, it here there releases this is how the rhizobium looks like, right children? So, this hyphae releases the enzymes. That enzymes break down the complex substances into simple substances. Complex substances into simple substances. Thereby, the simple substances utilized form, they will make it as a utilizable form for the fungi, and they absorb and transfer to the all parts of the body of the fungi. Right children? This is how this hyphae will utilizes. So, here the partitions is there, no? So, here the exchange of substances, exchange of food will be takes place. Here see it is, there is no any partitions. So, it directly the absorb nutrients through this hyphae to the entire parts of the fungi. So, this is about the septate and aseptate children, and coming to its habitat, nutrition, and we will clearly discussed about this here. See children. So, this is the hyphae, it is maybe of septate or aseptate, it absorbs through this hyphae and whole parts of the body of the fungi. So, this is what about the fungi children. See here, they are plant like organisms, but they don't have, they lack of roots, stems and all that. They are plant like microorganisms. They are plant like microorganisms that lack chlorophyll. Those are called as fungi. They lack chlorophyll also, and they lack roots also, they lack stems also, but they look like plant like organisms. Right children? So, they may be either unicellular or multicellular. For unicellular children, what is the example of unicellular? Yeast is the example of unicellular organisms and mildews. Right children? These mildews are the most affected to the plants children. So, multicellular example is rhizopus, mushrooms. Right children? So, they are having the stalk. So, see here, this is the mushroom, they are having the cap like structure called like umbrella. So, this umbrella having the silk like structures, they contain the spores. Okay children, when they are dispersed into the place, they can survive, then able to have the another fungi. Children, another mushroom. So, they are mostly the most suitable for favorable conditions for the fungi is rainy season. That is why in the rainy season we observe under the shady regions of the plants, and where the moisture content is more, we will be able to see the mushrooms children. So, this is the mycelium. So, mycelium having both, as there is seen in the macroscopic organisms also, microscopic organisms also. What is the stack consist of? Stack consists of a slender filament like structures. Slender filament like structures, we call it as hyphae. Right children? That hyphae the hyphae is twisted and tangled together. That we call it as the collection of hyphae, we call it as a mycelium. Right children? The hyphae having the septate and aseptate. Septate having the partitions. Right children? The septa having the partitions. In each partition the cytoplasm and the nucleus will be there. So, that is why it is a multicellular. There it is not present one nucleus is not there, many nucleus is there. Right children? That is why it is multicellular. And coming to the aseptate, there is no partitions. Aseptate is also called as sinusotic hyphae. Right children? So, they having there is no partitions are appear. So, see here. There are around 70,000 known species. How many species children? There are known 70 known species of fungi are present. The study of fungi is mycology. Myco means fungi. Children, myco means fungi. The study of fungi we call it as a mycology. Logy means study. That is why The study of fungi we call it as a mycology. It is very important in the microorganism classification. The fungi plays very crucial role in studying and preparing of medicines, children. So see here, some fungi are aerobic. Aerobic means, children, they use the oxygen. Some are maybe anaerobic. They doesn't use the oxygen. In the absence of oxygen also they can survive. But those are aerobic fungi, they can only survive in the presence of oxygen only. They are anaerobic, they without presence of oxygen also they can survive. Examples of this are some molds. So, see children, coming to the habitat. I already said the habitat is nothing but the place where the favorable conditions, temperature and suitable environment is there, that we call the place, we call it as a habitat. They can be easily seen where there are reasons. They the fungi is most attentive in the rainy season, children. That is why when you are in the rainy season, you kept the bread outside or any food you kept outside in the morning, you can able to see the cotton appearance like structures or cotton appearance like thread like structures. That is nothing but fungi, children. So they are grown in moist tree trunks. The trees are most moist in the rainy season, and the dampy cloths and leather goods, stale bread, and if the food is not properly preserved, if food is not preserved, not properly preserved also, we can see. In the pickles mostly we will see in the rainy season, if they are, the moisture content is having more in the pickle, you can able to see the white cotton layer like structures. That is nothing but the fungi, children. They can be seen as a green spongy material on cooked food, on pickles. See here, how it appears like it is seen as a green spongy like material in cooked food or pickles. So they have variety of habitats. They prefer dark, warm and dampy places where there are moisture content, and wetty places are there. They preferable those areas to grow, able to withstand in extreme conditions also. Right, children? So when it is not a suitable conditions are not there, so that they are able to not, they not spread in that area. But in the mostly we are seeing in the fungi in the wetty places, mostly we seen in the rainy season. Coming to its structure, children. So cell has well developed nucleus. It is having the well developed nucleus. 1 minute, children. This cell having the well developed nucleus. So the cell organelles and cell wall also we seen in it. And unicellular fungi consists of a single cell. The unicellular having the single cell, and unicellular fungi examples are yeast and mildews. So yeast live in, coming to the, we are studied at first, right? Fungi is both microscopic also, macroscopic also, right, children? In microscopic, micro means small, right, children? They are unicellular organisms, right, children? They are unicellular organisms, consist of only single cell, right? So unicellular fungi includes yeast and mildews. Coming to the yeasts, yeasts live in colonies, which means they are present in the groups, right, children? They are aerobic, the use of oxygen, and as well as anaerobic, also facultative anaerobic. What is meant by facultative anaerobic, children? Facultative anaerobes means in the presence of oxygen also they can survive, in the absence of oxygen also they survive. So they do the both actions according to the situations, according to the environment conditions. They are able to act as both aerobic also, anaerobic also. So coming to the mildews are parasitic. They, for the food and nutrition, they depend on the other organisms. They act as parasites which grow on living plants such as potatoes, weeds, grapes. Right, children? The fungal diseases, we may heard about the fungal disease on plants, right, children? So the mostly mildew parasite which grown on some living plants such as potato, wheat, grapes, etc. So some are saprophytic mildews, which means they depend on the dead organic matter. They grow on the dead organic matter, though often seen in grown dampy cloths, leather goods, right, children? So fungi, 1 minute, children. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Coming to its structure, children. Coming to the cell structure, they have well developed nucleus, cell organelles and cell wall also, and cell wall also, and they are unicellular and multicellular, For unicellular, the examples is yeast and mildews. Right children? The yeast usually seen in the groups. The yeast is usually seen in the 1 minute children. Okay. The yeast usually seen in the groups. Okay. The yeast usually seen in the groups we call it as colonies, and they are aerobic also and anaerobic also. They are facultative anaerobes, and that based on the requirable conditions, based on the environment conditions, they used to act as a facultative anaerobes. Aerobic means they use the oxygen, right children? So coming to the mildews, they exhibit the both saprophytic, they exhibit the parasitic mode also, saprophytic mode also. For the parasitic mode, they grow on the plants, right children? They grow on the plants for their nutrition. Examples are potatoes, potato plants, wheat plants, grapes and all that. Coming to the saprophytic mode, these mildews are dependent on the dead organic matter. They are often seen in dampy clothes, leather goods, etc. Right children, this is about the unicellular organism of the fungi. Coming to the multicellular organism, multicellular fungi, they are thread-like structures. How they are appear children? See here, 1 minute. See here, they are thread-like structures. Here see, they are thread-like structures, right children? As they are microscopic also, they are multicellular, but they having the structure like the characteristic feature is in it, they are thread-like structures, right children? So see here, multicellular organisms, multicellular fungi are thread-like structure, they have the hyphae. What are hyphae? In the thread-like structures, when we analyze, when we see it, they are the long slender filament-like structure present, then each one we call it as hyphae, right children? So which may have contain more than one nucleus, they contain many nucleus will be there without division into cells. If they are not division, the division is not happen, there is no partition, right children? That if the hyphae doesn't have the partition, we call it as non-separate form, and if they have the partition, we call it as a separate. If they doesn't having the partitions, we call it as a non-separate. That hyphae we also called as cenocytic hyphae, right children? So cenocytic hyphae. This collection of hyphae we call it as mycelium. If they asked about the what is mycelium? Mycelium is nothing but the collection of hyphae with a twisted, right children, with a tangent together, we call it as a mycelium. Each fungus will have a vast number of hyphae interweaving make up tangent web called mycelium. Nothing but the collection of hyphae, we call it as the mycelium children. So this is about the unicellular and multicellular. The examples of the multicellular are rhizopus, right children, mushrooms, they are all multicellular, right children. Rhizopus, which is not can be seen with the naked eye because there are the microscopic organisms. Coming to the mushrooms, we can usually see, usually they are visual aid, right children. So we can see the naked eye, that is why they are macroscopic. So this is about the cell structure children. There are two types, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular example is yeast and mildews. Coming to the multicellular, mushrooms, rhizopus, they are multicellular fungi. They are having the thread-like structures called hyphae, and they are twisted together. The collection of hyphae we call it as mycelium. The hyphae has two types, one is separate and aseparate, right children? One is non-separate, aseparate doesn't having any partitions. If they separate, having the partitions, right children? The aseparate also called as cenocytic hyphae, right children? So see, multicellular fungi are comprises of molds, nothing but bread molds. We mostly call it as bread molds children. So bread molds, having example rhizopus, mushrooms, there are the examples of the multicellular fungi. So molds look like tangible mass of thread-like structures, can't be observed with a hand lens. We cannot see with our naked eye. This bread, on the we can see only the cotton layers when it is the bread is outside. Right, children? The when the bread items or the pickles, we see the whitish layer, whitish green layer. Right, children? So that is nothing but the fungi. So they have thread-like structure, but we can observe in the visual. We can observe in the microscope. We can see the what is the how the hyphae is made up of and all that. Right, children? So penicillium is the mold which is found in penicillium is a mold. Penicillium is an antibiotic which made by the mold penicillium. Right, children? So molds usually grow on rotten fruits. Where the molds are grown, they are grown in rotten fruits, spoiled fruits, bread, foodstuff, moisture grains, pulses, because the fungi is more attentive for the moisture regions. Right, children? They can usually they grow more in number in the presence of moist places. They have another type of mold that grown on the bread that called as orange mold. The fungi which is grow on bread, they call it as nuisance of the bakery, because children, they usually grow more on bread. That is why they are also called as nuisance of the bakery. So the another type of mold that grown in the bread is called orange mold. What is, children? It is a orange mold, because they are having the pigments, orange mold, pinkish mold. There are the because of the pigments present in the molds, they appear in that color. Right, children? So because of the carotenoid pigments, there appear the orange mold and pinkish orange color, like that. They are also considered as a bread molds, because because they are also called as nuisance in bakeries. They have tendency to grow on loaves of bread in more content, because the bread have usually observed the most moisture content. When observed under the microscope, when we observe in the microscope, it is found it grows by elongation of the tips called hyphae. When we see under the microscope, the hyphae will be appear. Then we can say it is having hyphae is aseptate or septate. Right, children? So they are fastly grown in the moist places. Since the fast growing filamentous fungi, they measure approximately 10 centimeters. We can say that how much centimeters it will be? It will be 10 centimeters, children. So this is about the cell structure, children. So coming to the mushrooms, the multicellular fungi. See, the mushrooms often grow in a woody and moist shady places, children. They grow in the mostly moist shady places, grow on woody place, and common in grow in wet soils, shady places during the mostly in the season of rainy season. Such as the roots of the trees. And also, children, some eatable mushrooms also will be there. The mushrooms have more vitamin content. The vitamin B6, vitamin D, selenium, these are mostly present in the mushrooms, children. The vitamin B6, we already told you in the in the chapter of I think in crop production, right, children? We discussed about the vitamins, right? What is the vitamin B6? What is the characteristic feature of the vitamin B6? They are able to involved in the brain cells development, right, children? So and also selenium, vitamin D. These are all very important vitamins for the human body. So some are eatable mushrooms will be there. Those have the high nutrient value of vitamin B6, D, and selenium, children. So this is about the mushrooms, children. They have umbrella shaped. One is they having the bag like shaped mushrooms also will be there, and one they are umbrella like structures were also will be there. They have the silk like structures, right, children? They have the silk like structures. In that they have the spores. When they are dispersed under suitable conditions, they germinate and gives the another fungi, multicellular fungi, right, children? The umbrella shaped structure known as the fruiting body. This umbrella like structure we call it as fruiting body of the fungus. Under the umbrella, if you look like closely, we will see the silk like structures, nothing but these, children. I already told you, no children, they have the silk-like structures. They have contain the spores. So they are also known as gills. They contain spores. When they are dispersed under suitable conditions, they give rise to the new multicellular fungi. This is about the mushrooms, children. Coming to its nutrition, children. 1 minute, okay. Coming to its nutrition, fungi lack chlorophyll. Fungi lack chlorophyll because they doesn't have the, as they are plant, they look like plant-like structure, but they does not have any chlorophyll. Hence, they are unable to make their own food. They are dependent on the most of the fungi. They are dependent on the other organisms for their sustenance. There are saprophytic and parasitic. There are saprophytic and parasitic. What are the examples of the saprophytic? Mildews. Right, children? Mildews. These are unicellular fungi. They are unicellular fungi. Right, children? They are saprophytic. They are grown on the dead organic matter. They grow on the dead organic matter. They grow on the dead organic matter. And the parasitic examples are the mildews which grow on the plants like potatoes, wheat, grapes. Yes, children. So, saprophytic ones obtain their nutrition by dead and decaying organic matter, example bread mold, and parasitic fungi, they derive the nutrition on living inside on the body of the another organism. See, some there, down mildew is a causative organism for the plants, children. So, the fungi which affects the organisms like for the nutrition purpose, for the shelter purpose, we call it as a parasitic. They exhibit the parasitic mode, right, children? So, the example for this is downy mildew. So, this is about the nutrition, children. So, what we discussed up to about the fungi, right, children? About fungi, what we discussed, they are fungi is of two types. The study of first we call it as the study of fungi we call it as mycology. The study of fungi we call it as mycology. Myco means fungi. Logy means study. The study of fungi we call it as mycology. Why they have studied? They have the, because of the many medicinal values we are, gained through by the mycology studies, right, children? So, the fungi is maybe of microscopic or macroscopic, right, children? Macroscopic means they are unicellular and the microscopic means they are multicellular. The examples of the unicellular is yeast and mildews. Coming to the multicellular, the example is mushrooms, bread molds, rhizopus. Right, children? So, coming to the unicellular, the yeast having seen in the colonies, which means they are seen in as the groups. They are seen in the as groups, right, children? So, the mildews, unicellular fungi, they affect both. They show that both nutrition, saprophytic nutrition and parasitic. For the saprophytic, they depend on the nutrition for the other organism, right, children? They grow on the dead organic matter mostly. And coming to the parasitic, they live on the other organism for their nutrition and affect that organism also, right, children? So, example is mildews which affect the plants of potatoes, wheat and grape. Coming to the mushrooms having the cap-like structures, they may be having the bag-like structure or umbrella-like structure. Right, children? They look like bag-like structure or umbrella-like structure. That umbrella having the slit-like structure, they contain the spores. When they disperse under the suitable conditions, they grow and germinate to give the another multicellular fungi mushroom. Right, children? So, what are the habitat of the fungi? They grow on their damp cloths, leathery goods, moist trees, wetlands. The suitable season of the fungi is rainy season. In our day-to-day life, the mostly seen on the fungi in the mostly bread. Right children, if you leave the bread on outside of the room and if you are not preserved in the refrigerator, you are able to see the fungi in the to the morning you can the appear of cotton like structure. We can analyze it is the living cells present in the bread, we call it as a fungi children. So and so they have they having the multicellular. If they observe the bread mold in the microscopic, they appear the thread like long slender like filaments, we call it as hyphae. The hyphae is of two types, one is septate, another one is septate. The aseptate doesn't having any partitions and the septate having the partitions. Right children, what is this hyphae? The function of the hyphae, they releases the enzymes. Right children, they break down the complex molecules, complex substances into simple substances, right children, and thereby the nutrition absorbed through the hyphae and transfers to the all parts of the plant, all parts of the fungi body. Right children, this is how the nutrition happens in the in fungi. Right children, and the collection of hyphae we call it as mycelium. The collection of hyphae we call it as mycelium. They have the long slender like filaments called hyphae, they are twisted and tangled together, that we call it as a mycelium. Right children, this is about the fungi up till nutrition children. Tomorrow we discussed about the reproduction of the fungi, right. So this is up to the today's class children. I hope you all clear about this today's session, and tomorrow's session we are going to discussing about the what kind of reproduction happens in the fungi. And children, so after all the classification of bacteria, fungi and after 5 classification of the microorganisms children, we are going to discussing about the what are useful and harmful fungi, what are useful bacteria and harmful bacteria will do that session children. So first we are learning about the what is a fungi and what kind of habitat they grown, and what is the habitat of the classification of the microorganisms, and what kind of nutritions they will take, and what environments they will survive, what the special features they have. Right children, what is cell structure of the the classification of 5 groups of microorganisms. First we will study that, then we will discuss about the what is the useful and harmful bacteria, useful fungi and harmful fungi, and another more classifications. I hope you all clear about this today's session children. If you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section and I will clear you all your doubts children. I hope you all go through once again these children, you will get to understand better. Right children, don't afraid of to learn children, because it is the first time as your upcoming students of 8th, it is little difficult, it may seems like to you, but it is not that much hard, it is very easy only. Okay children, so before winding up the session, I would like to remind one of the very important news children. We are starting the batch from the April 15th onwards. Already the 4-5 batches are going on children. The next batch is going on from the April 15th onwards. Don't miss this opportunity. The most experienced teachers, the most well experienced teachers only going to teach you the subject from the basic to the higher level children. So if you want to contact with us, down the streaming number is there, no children, please contact with that number and get access our classes in our app name called NEET WORLD children. So children, and the main concepts covered by with us are based on the exams of NEET and JEE. Who want to step to medicine and who want to have another goals, if you have higher goals, you have to need the basics for very strong basics will be there. So we are providing that concepts with very wonderful animations and videos to get to know, the concept should be understood to you very conceptual wise, right children, and we are creating the quizzes after every week, and we are giving the assessments after every 2 weeks, 3 weeks like that. So don't miss this opportunity, and our mode of learning is through digital panel children. We are creating the most beautiful animations, the concept to understood children. So and another more important news children, we are creating the one-on-one interaction sessions for your doubt clearing sessions children, and and we are providing career guidance programs also to what chosen path you want to go, how the career guidance, how to achieve your goals, and to how to if you want to be a doctor, what kind of concepts you need to learn for the NEET, right children. So those all explained through by us. So don't miss this opportunity. It is from both offline also and online also. Those who want to come to the offline classes, you can happily come to your institute name called NEET WORLD, present in Narayani G, Hyderabad, near metro station children. And who want to access through online, down the streaming number is there, no children. So contact with that number and we'll give access for you to the in our classes, online classes. And don't miss this opportunity children, it is very golden opportunity. The first 1 week classes are free for you. So I hope you all understand this about the program we are keeping from the April 1st onwards. So don't miss this opportunity children. Thank you.